to today's episode of this podcast that I'm hosting. My name's Tanisha from Jersey, and I like things. I like small things and large things, and sometimes things are in the middle if they're expensive. Anyway, here's my co-host. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Tanisha, and I'm from Delaware.
I thought that was my name. I just learned that my co-host has the same name as me. Since this is our first episode, I didn't know my co-host's name. Our second co-host, I guess our third host, if you want to say it in that fashion or manner. I suppose those words are interchangeable in most contexts. She really shy and doesn't really know how to make a good broadcaster voice or how to present herself or themselves. In a fluent kind of manner or fashion. But here she is. Introduce yourself.
Hi! I don't really like to talk very much. But here's my voice.
We still don't know her name, but I'm pretty sure it's not Teresa.
I'm Teresa and I'm from Sweden.
So,
I'm from Sweden.
we were asked to get together today to talk about, what was it? Domestic violence? Oh, no, actually, no. No, we're discussing Yosemite National Park. Sorry, I got my notes mixed up. Let's refer back to our second Tanisha co-host. We're good, thanks. That was our office manager stepping in for a moment. Tanisha, what do you think about climate change?
I saw a cloud the other day. And I think it was the result from the weather getting hotter because it didn't look quite right. And it started to thunder and rain, but the weather forecast said that it wasn't supposed to, but it did anyway. So I was a little bit confused. So I went outside and I heard
What was the shape of the cloud, if you don't mind specifying? I'm a very visual learner, and
so basically it looked like a bunch of cotton balls. If you bunch them together and you spit on it, and if you molded it into a shape.
that sounds really abnormal.
I've never seen anything like it, so you can imagine my surprise when I walked outside and I saw it.
What's something else about climate change that has surprised you in recent times?
So one time I went outside with my umbrella expecting it to rain, and it didn't rain. And there were no clouds in the sky.
So it sounds like the sun's getting so hot that it's actually destroying the rain cycle. Would you say that's at least partially true? I mean, you're the expert on the matter. I got our topics confused today. How does climate change relate to Yosemite National Park?
So when it rains too hard, it kind of ruins the volcanoes a little bit. So,
I didn't know there were volcanoes in Yosemite National Park. That's really interesting. Say more about that specifically and talk for a really long time so I don't have to, please.
they're very new. They actually came out because of climate change. They were put there so that they could balance the clouds.
But aren't volcanoes hot? I thought the thing about climate change is that it's getting too hot outside.
Yeah, so basically it's really cold in Yosemite National Park. So when they put the volcanoes there, it produced a lot of condensation and that produced a lot of clouds.
Oh, so in Yosemite National Park, they're facing cold climate change as opposed to the warm climate change that we face in some of the more neutral in terms of weather kind of states and locations. Not to say that states and locations are. Here's my third host, second co-host. I'm the host, I suppose, but I'm contracted by monthly, bi-monthly. Every 2 months, I renew my contract. So, well, if this goes well, I mean, once again, this is our first episode. Sorry, I'm rambling.
I'm not altogether sold on the idea.
Of climate change or Yosemite National Park or what?
What was the question?
What were you referring to?
Climate change.
Thank you for specifying. It's important on a show like this so we get our facts straight. We are an upstanding podcast filled with sometimes words that we like to say in certain orders to get certain ideas across about different things that we are passionate about talking about, using specific terminology and sometimes general terminology when that's necessary. Let's refer back to our producer. His name is Greg Winters, and he has a really kind of masculine voice that, well, I'll be honest.
Hello, and this is Greg Winters. Today we're talking about climate change, and these girls on here, they don't really know what they're talking about, to be frank with you. So we're gonna leave it to the man. Hey, my name is Greg. What did you think I said, woman? Anyways.
I know your name.
Yeah, you do. Okay, so the topic is climate change. We're gonna go over to our other guest speaker, Frank Huntsonburger. Frank?
Frank with you.
Frank can hunt me a burger any day.
Oh my gosh. This is a
I love you.
PG-13 podcast. Let's keep it family friendly, okay? No hugging burgers now, okay?
I'll hug your burger.
We're not hugging burgers.
A burger every day.
And we are back.
Thing going on.
Hey, okay.
Should I mention who sponsored us?
Sure, Laquisha.
Okay. We are sponsored by William Morris Endeavor. If you want it done, they'll do it. And they'll get that done for not a whole lot of money. If you have a lot of money, then it's not a lot to you because really the wealth is a relative concept, as Frank told me the other night. When I showed up Frank, I suppose I should, we're also sponsored by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, so thanks.
What was your question, LaQuisha?
Now we are gonna,
What was your
I believe,
LaQuisha?
Tanisha and Frank are currently in a relationship.
LaQuisha, what was your
Um,
LaQuisha?
we're gonna hand it over to Frank now.
Tanisha. Wait, no, Tanisha.
Tanisha. We're just gonna expose it here right on the podcast. I believe Tanisha and Frank are.
Actually, I'm sworn to celibacy and I'm never going to date a man. I'm a feminist, actually.
I think producer Craig was referring to me, as it is I that is in a relationship with Frank, not you. Not to be competitive, as there's nothing to compete with, as you are sworn to celibacy. Which is quite tragic, because Frank and I at times...
Okay, and now we are going to hand it over to the second co-host of the day.
We cannot quell our passions!
No, we cannot. We're gonna end it right